Hey everyone, welcome back to Hosel Rockets, where me, Eric Barnes, and Ben Edmonds talk about golf, all things golf related. And this episode is da-da-da, season 1, episode 2. We had such a great time with the pilot last week. We met a lot of people, we had fun. So we're going to just jump in this week and just talk about. I think we both played golf this last 2 weeks, or this last week. So Ben, how did you play?
It was highs and lows, I would say. I haven't been playing a lot of golf lately. Not a lot for me, which is still a lot for most people. And so I feel a little rusty. Played Saturday up at Auburn University Club, which my buddy Daniel, who you played with a couple times now, he's a member there, and so we played up there. I shot a smooth 85 on Saturday. It was it's one of those days where I think I went double bogey on the first 3 holes, and it was we were both like, maybe we should just stop keeping score at this point and just fuck around or whatever. We're like, no, we'll stay in it, and then we kind of grinded it out from there. And so it turned out okay. 85 is not too bad. And then it was a lot of putts though. It was 41 putts, which has been kind of my big problem lately. I'll hit a ton of green and rag, 50, 60%, and then just forget how to putt once I get on there. And then Sunday was good. Sunday was an 81, almost broke 80, which for me is a great score, but had a couple bad holes in the last few. A transfusion or two might have been part of the reason for the bad score coming in. But it was fun.
Those will sneak up on you. Some of those bartenders have heavy hands. You get a little more than you're expecting in those drinks.
Yeah, it definitely does. And the grape juice covers out how strong they are.
Oh, that's great. Well, you're putting? Are you 3-putting, or is that 4 putts? Are you what?
Man,
what is it?
Okay. So I'm on 18, and I grinded this round out, right? And so I was probably on track for an 83, which is like pretty average score. I was pretty happy with it after the bad start. Hit the green in rag and 2, it's par 4. And I only had maybe a 10 to 15 foot putt on the same tier as the green, but it was sloping pretty hard. And I putted way, way past it. Then I had to come back up the hill. I didn't make it all the way up the hill, and then it came all the way back to my feet. Then I putted the next one fairly close, tapped in for a 4 putt on 18 to shoot 85.
Man, those are brutal. You're supposed to always end on a birdie. You never want to end on a 4 putt.
Yeah, I'll remember that next time, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of everything. I'll have some days that are pretty good with the putter, and then some days where it's probably just a lot more 3 putts than it should be.
Yeah, which I will say this. We talked about this last episode. Ben likes to play everywhere instead of like one course all the time. So I personally feel like your speed's going to be totally wrong every single time you go play golf, because you're hitting all these different courses. Nothing's the same. Some might have really good greens, some might not. I feel like that might matter.
It matters a ton. When I'm putting well, it's usually because I'm playing the same course multiple days in a row or multiple weeks without playing elsewhere. AU club was a lot faster greens than what I'm used to at my home club. And so the first day I had 41 putts. The second day there, 7 putts different. Pretty noticeable.
Yeah, probably 41's, like you said, probably a lot of short ones you missed that you probably shouldn't have, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so what about you, Eric? You had a more exciting weekend.
I played twice this week. The first one was Friday. I did a practice round with my buddy who's a scratch golfer. He's like a plus .02 or something, something ridiculous. But I was like, this is my practice round because I have the singles. My club does a year-long singles net match play, and we were in the very last round. We were going to play it Saturday, so I was like, well, I'll do a practice round. So I played with my buddy. I was like, I want to play you, match straight up, and I'm a 5 and he's a scratch, so I was like, I'll just do my best and see how good I am for tomorrow. And I sort of held my own for a little bit, maybe like 4 holes, and then his drives are just like his carry is probably like 100 to 120 past me every time.
Holy shit.
Every par five he had like 7 iron in. It was just he birdied every par five. It was just a whole different game than what I can actually play. But I only lost by 4, so that was not terrible. But then we had the match Saturday, my finals. I had to give up 8 shots for that match. Started off birdie par to go 2 up. He got a pop on 3, so he won that one with the par. 4, I won that one, went up, but after 9 we were tied. So went to the back 9. We He won like 12 and 13, so he was 2 up. 14 we tied, and then 15, I think it was 15. I was 2 down after 15. We had 16, 17, 18 left. He got a pop on 16. So luckily I parred 16. He got a 6. I was 1 up. 17, I stuck it to 8 feet probably. Made the easy par. So we're all square going into 18. Hit my drive left. He hit his barely just over the water, almost hit it in the water. So it was almost over from
Okay,
there.
set the stage here too. This is I played
Yeah,
here
this is the
Buckle. So it's the
finals.
par 5, right? On 18. There's water right, bunkers left.
Yep, water right, bunkers left. The tees were actually on the right side, so you actually have to carry the water. So you probably have a 200-yard carry for the water, but then it all runs up the total right side of that hole. But yeah, so he cleared the water barely. I was left near the bunkers. We both hit second shots back in the fairway. I think we were about 130 out. He hit, and at this point we have a 20-mile-an-hour headwind into us. So he hits his short. So I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. So I went up a club and hit it to about 10 feet left. He chipped up inside mine. So we're both, I'm still 1 shot ahead of him. Putted down, did a terrible read, but I was within tap-in distance. So the par was pretty much given. Then he runs his par putt by like 6 feet, and then he misses the comeback on that. And then he misses the next one, and he's like, "All right, you win." And so I am the grand champion of my club's year-long season net match play. So that was fun.
That's great. So how does year-long net match play work? Are you doing like competitions throughout the year?
Yeah, it starts in April. It's basically like an NCAA bracket, like basketball bracket, and you have 64 players, and then you just each month the bracket whittles down until the final, which technically the final was supposed to be last week, but we had that hurricane come through, so we couldn't play it. And then at the end, you get this plaque with like your name, as the grand champion, and then it has the whole bracket on it. So it like has everybody that got beat and everybody like that. So it was pretty sweet. It was exciting. More than anything, I didn't play good, but I got a little lucky there at the end. I'll be honest.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. I mean, it means you played pretty well all year though to even get in that spot.
Yeah, I played really good. The last match was the best one. Me and this other guy, he had to give me 1 shot. I think I shot a 75. He shot it like a 76. It was like the most consistent golf I've ever played between 2 people in my life. Like we really didn't mess up much. But yeah, it's super fun. So, if you have a club and you do all these events, definitely enter them, because you get to meet people, and it's just so much fun playing with people and seeing how good or bad you are.
It's more fun when you beat them.
This is true. It is a lot more fun when you win.
Nice.
I will say it's fun to win those, but it's way more fun to beat you. Like I would trade just demolishing you for an entire weekend every time we play over this win. I think that would mean more to me.
Part of it is just scarcity of that, right? You've only done it like twice out of dozens of times, so it means more to you.
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, we'll go with the truth. How about that?
Yes, but no, super fun. A lot of things going there. What was I going to say? Putting wise, I don't know, putted pretty good. Other than I had like three putts, but otherwise it was If I would have made everything within 10 feet, I probably would have won earlier, but it all came through in the end. So can't complain.
Nice. Nice. Cool. So I think we have a listener question this week. Do we want to get into that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's get that open. So if you don't know, we have started a Telegram group. It's Hosel Rockets on Telegram. We put the link in the show notes and the link on our website. So go join that. You can chat with us. Ask questions, things like that. Yesterday, Stephen Grant asked, "How often do you visit the range?" Back in Scotland, I'd be there at least twice a week. So Ben, I'd like you to answer that because I think you spend more time at the range than definitely you spend more than I do there.
Oh yeah, because for those that don't know, Eric shows up, he hits 2 shots on the range, and then he putts like 100 times. Might be why he's a better putter than me, probably. But yeah, I try to get to the range about once a week, just lunch break or after work or whatever. Just go to the range for an hour, work on whatever I'm working on, which is usually a lot. And then every time I play around though, I usually try to get there about an hour early. That's most of my practice time. One, it helps me get loose for the round, and also gives me. I'm already going to the course. I already have time dedicated, so it's easier to kind of carve that out usually for me. And so I'll, show up an hour early. Spend the first 30 minutes or so working my way through my bag. I'll usually start with a wedge, skip a club, and go to the next club. So like, I'll start with the 54. I'm probably going 54 to pitch and wedge to 8-iron to 6-iron, and kind of work my way up there. Depending on time, I might skip some in between, but I want to make sure I at least hit a few 3-woods and drivers at the end there, get pretty loose. Also, a new thing I've added to that routine is I hit a few drivers off the deck at least and kind of dial in the contact. I don't do that. I don't actually play driver off the deck much in a round because, it can be pretty nasty if you top it or, chunk it or whatever. But doing it on the range, I think helps really work on contact because you can make good contact with the driver off the deck. You can make pretty good contact with everything else. And then the next 30 minutes are chipping, putting, mostly putting. My chipping's fairly consistent right now, so I'm not spending as much time on that. I did get a new wedge though that's been a wrinkle, so we can chat about that too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then throughout the week, I have a mat and a net and a SkyTrack in my garage, and so I'm in meetings most of the day, and so if I have 5-10 minutes between meetings, I'll go down there and hit some. I also record my swing with whatever I'm working on and try to dial that in throughout the week. So I probably hit a couple hundred balls throughout the week, just in 5-minute blocks throughout the day. Yeah, that's it. What about you?
Interesting. I have the totally opposite routine. So if I'm practicing, what my favorite is just going and taking. I will try to hit like say I'm going for an hour and not going to play that day. But so if I'm just going to the range to practice, I just try to do the different flags. I take one there. What is it normally like 100 yards, 150, 200, whatever. So I'll hit the club for the 100, try to hit the flag or as close as I can. Then I'll immediately switch. So I try not to hit more than one ball at one time, unless I'm really trying to work on my swing or trying to, had a lesson and trying to group something in. And then I will go. We actually have a chipping range that has flags every 20 yards.
Is the 100-yard flag like a smooth 3-wood, or what are you hitting?
Rude. It is actually a 43-degree wedge at this time, if there's no wind. That was just crazy. All right, so then we have, this is funny because the other side of the range we have like a chipping range. It's like every 20 yards you have a flag. It goes from 20 yards up to like 100. And so my 54-degree wedge, I hit all of them until I get to about 80, which is its max, and then I have to swap to a different club. But I try to do a ladder drill with that. But that's if I'm like really trying to practice my swing, which I don't usually do. Like coming up to this match, I would go in the afternoon and I would just chip and putt, on the practice green and the putting green, and I wouldn't even hit balls. And then from there, like if I'm going to go play around, I take the 43 wedge. That's my 100-yard club. I take a 7-iron. I take a driver, and I hit about 5 or 6 balls with the wedge, just kind of getting loose. I'll hit a few with the 7-iron, and then I hit like 3 drives, and then I just go and putt and chip the rest of the time because that's, in my opinion, that's where your scoring is. As long as you hit them straight, it don't matter. Like I don't know, I don't seem like there should be much warm up there, other
The
than
thing
wearing
you do
yourself
that most
out.
of us don't is you hit the middle of the face with the same exact swing path and face to path on every swing. So I don't even know why you hit 3. You just need 1.
So I've learned if I don't hit any, then I end up hurting myself because I'm old. And so it's better to go and like hit some soft ones before you get to the range or before you get to the course. And then the other thing that I do, which I think might be unique, is on the putting green. I only putt before a round. I only putt with 1 ball. So I pick a flag and I try to 2-putt, and I just kind of go around the green doing that instead of like dropping down 2 or 3 balls. Because like to me, it all comes back to like when I'm playing golf. You only get 1 shot, so you just need to learn to not hit bad ones the first time. It's like breakfast balls; those are ridiculous. Nobody should ever take a breakfast ball.
Who would do that? It's a horrible idea.
Uh,
I actually
but anyway,
don't
yes.
take breakfast balls much anymore, unless my playing partners want to. But all the tournaments I've been playing in, I had to give up the breakfast balls. Kind of sad about it. But you're right. A couple of weeks into breakfast balls, and you don't need them anymore, and it's
Right.
it's better for your game for sure. Eric used to
Oh
give me
yeah,
a lot of shit for the breakfast balls.
exactly. Cheating. First hole already cheating. Tiger Woods don't get a breakfast ball. You shouldn't either.
Fair. Yeah, we play the same game, me and Tiger.
It's the same game. We're just up a few tees than he is, and our scores are a little different.
A little different. Maybe not right now.
Uh,
So what's your putting's definitely a strong suit for you. What's your putting routine? Do you have like a certain thing you do, or is it just putt out a flag and then putt at it till you drop it and pick another flag?
mm-mm. So my whole goal is just when I'm on the putting greens is speed control. I'm just trying to put it within that 2 feet circle, and that's really my only goal. Um, if it's a new course now, I am trying to kind of get used to the reads and the breaks, but for the most part, I like just more focusing on speed. And then before I go tee off, I'll usually like try to make a couple 4-footers or something like that, just something so I can see it going in the hole. But otherwise, it's just all speed and all reading, and that's kind of it.
Well, it seems to work.
Do you have a system? What's your system?
Maybe I need more of a system. Usually, my system is I start with I'll start with short putts, and so I'll try to make sure I can hit 4 or 5 foot putt pretty consistently. Then I'll broaden that out to maybe 10. And then once I get to 10, I'm trying to get to tap in range at least. Maybe I make 1 or 2 out of 3, not making them all. And then from there, I'll jump up pretty far and go to like 30-foot putts. And then I'm just trying to lag a 30-footer and then drop it in. And in the process of all those putts, I'll try to make sure I hit a couple uphills, a couple downhills, a couple that I have to read and breaks into. And then I'll do my favorite routine of aim point and try to get a feel for, how much is the slope and how much does that slope break on this green. Try to kind of fill that in a little bit. All while I'm doing the other stuff. I don't do that separately.
Yeah, we need to either in person or on one of these episodes. I need you to teach me aim point because I keep trying it and it's like I just can't feel the slope. Like I understand like the finger for the degrees and all that stuff. 1, 2, 3 fingers, whatever. All that makes sense. But it's like when I stand there, I can't feel like, oh yeah, this is definitely a 1 degree slope going that way or whatever. It's just to me, I just can't. I just
So
can't
you
get
actually
that.
want to try it now because I thought you were an aim point hater.
No, I'm only an aim point hater because the only people I've known that's done it have been super slow, and I'm not a super slow golfer. So, just as a reference point, I don't even take practice strokes with my putter. Like I put my reed down and put the ball down. And I just go and hit it because I figure it's like baseball, like you don't take practice swings when you're playing baseball. The ball comes at you, you hit it. But
baseball players do actually have like a whole separate box for taking practice swings before they stand up on the plate.
maybe I should watch baseball more. Okay, how about lacrosse?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I do also worry about time with aim point. I think it's faster than the people that go look at putts from multiple angles. It's kind of my pet peeve when someone reads a putt from the angle of the putt and then they like walk around 3 different sides of the hole looking at different angles and getting down on the ground, getting back up, all that. I feel like that takes forever. I don't do any of that. I just put my feet on it and then go and hit it. I also should use the fingers more. I don't, also because I'm just kind of impatient and I'm like, I know how big my finger is. Why do I need to actually hold it up and just look at it and hit it?
That seems fair. That seems fair. What about, but still, even with aim point though, like if you're on Bermuda greens, you still have to like read the grain and stuff, right? Because that's even going to be more than the slope, or take some out of the slope, I guess.
That's a big pain in the ass, really, for playing different courses too. Because, for example, like AU Club, when put up there, the grain doesn't affect it much. They're very new greens. It's like their second year growing in. And just the grain doesn't matter a ton. That's mostly about the read. You have to kind of keep that in mind. At my home club, Green Island, the grains are like 20 years old. The grain matters almost as much as the read. So I'll try to factor that in. Like if I'm reading it at like a one finger right to left, but the grain is going left to right, I'll kind of factor in like that's mostly canceled out. Maybe just right edge kind of thing. So you can kind of grow feels for that after you play a course a lot.
Hmm. Well, here's another question, because I run into this a lot. I don't do the aim point, but like my home course, I play there all the time, so I know all the breaks for the most part. But when you have fast greens, it's going to break a lot, and when it's slow, it's going to break less. Like like in the way I understand aim point, you're only feeling the degree of slope. How are you adjusting based on green speed to know that, hey, this, when it's fast, this should be a 2 finger, but now it's slow, it's only going to be a 1 finger, or it's going to be even less or something like that.
Yeah, so part of the practice green, what you should be doing with aim point is I don't actually like I think I signed an NDA. I don't know how much of this shit I can actually say. Maybe I'm gonna get sued here. But you hold your finger closer to your face or farther away from your face to calibrate the speed of the greens, basically.
Interesting. So what you're telling me is I should go and sign up and take the class.
Yeah, or I could just give you a mini class next time. I'm gonna make sure to like sprinkle in some false information. That way you don't beat me.
Exactly.
But,
That's why I don't trust you teaching me aim point. I'm like, yeah, you're going to fail me.
yeah, Eric. So first you do a handstand, then you lick the grass 3 times, then you hit your putt.
Ben only said that because I can't do a handstand because my elbow's broke. He just likes to rub that in a lot.
So that is actually a topic I wanted to get into when we talked about your practice session. Most listeners probably don't know that you cheat at golf every time you play because you have the bionic elbow, and so Eric hits the exact same backswing position, the exact same slot every single time. It's really not fair.
I've heard that before. Everybody says they want a bionic elbow until they have it, and then they don't want it. But yeah, no, I broke the radial head on my right elbow, man. I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe more. Anyway, had bad surgery, had another bad surgery, and it just don't bend anymore. So it's kind of stuck in this sort of perfect golf position.
It is
And
perfect, like 90-degree angle slotted golf swing position. It's kind of sick.
Yeah. So it works. It works well as far as the swing goes. The only problem is the wrist doesn't. I don't have as much movement in my wrist as normal people do. So I end up having to play the ball more forward in my stance on like iron shots and stuff like that because I can't get it closed with my wrist because my wrist don't want to turn over. So to adapt for that, I bring the ball more forward in my stance. But because I do that, I can't get that really good compression. So that's why I tend to more sweep the ball. But for keeping the ball straight, the bionic elbow works really good because it's hard to get out of out of sync, I guess.
Yeah, sounds a lot like an excuse, but okay.
It is an excuse. If I didn't have a broken elbow, I could probably drive at 320, 330. So I'm just saying,
Right
it
into
does
the
have.
wood. Yeah.
Hmm, that's true. Did we bring up this spicy topic last time? What's better, hitting it 5 feet beside the pin with an iron from the fairway, or is it better to bomb a 330-yard drive?
Personally, I much prefer the real just sticking it real close where you know you have a tap in. You're definitely making that birdie. Um, yeah, I
Says
much
the man
prefer
with
that.
40 putts.
That's why. Yeah. If you're gonna be a shitty putter, you gotta hit it close. What about you?
True. I don't know, but if you drive at 330, you should always have wedges. So it seems like it'd be better to play that way.
So I don't drive at 330 all the time, right? Every now and then I'll hit a nice wind to my back and downhill and it'll get out to 300. And then there's this very strong stress of don't fuck this up. And usually I hit that next shot pretty fat and I'm chipping anyway.
All right, so there is nothing worse than a good drive and a flub second shot.
A good drive
I
is
will say that.
stressful in its own way. If you just always hit it 200 out there, there's no stress to that because your per shot has to be good every time anyway.
True. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you only hit it 200, then your dispersion, you can have a 50-yard dispersion. You're still in the fairway. See, that's the real key.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try that next time.
You
Are you
should.
playing the
You
red
should just.
tees?
I'm not against it. I mean, the rumor going around YouTube golf is you play the red tees until you break par, and then you go to the next ones, and then you go to the next ones, and then you go to the next ones, and then by the time you get to the last tees, you should be really good. But
So I have actually tried the red tee challenge a couple, and I think I shot about 3 strokes better on each side. So that's maybe about half better at least. What about you? You tried it?
yeah, I've only done the red tees twice at my club. The last time, I think I actually shot even par the last time, so it was actually pretty good. It was to me, it was actually harder because it was all the shots I never have in when I normally play my course. Because I'm hitting drivers and hybrids or drivers and 7 irons, and from the red tees you're hitting driver and wedges that these little weird what is it, like 64 yards or 78, all these things you're not used to playing with. So that part was harder. But otherwise, I mean, there was only a few holes you couldn't hit driver on from the red at my course, so that helps a lot. So it's more of an open course, so you can actually, you don't have to worry about too much trouble from the red tees, so you can still kind of bomb one out there.
I did love that about your course. You can really just like rip at it off the tee and not lose a ball. Even you might not like the lie, but you would find the ball at least.
Yeah, I do like that. That's sort of the main reason I joined there too, because like you can play. I swear you can play like 4 or 5 rounds on the same golf ball. As long as you don't hit any trees or cart paths, you don't really lose balls and you don't tear them up. So that part's really nice, and it's very walkable. That's what I like. Which yours seems pretty walkable too. You just have a lot of trees and a lot of tight little, terrible par fours. Ben, go ahead and describe hole 10 at your course because it is my nemesis. Or did we already talk about this? I can't remember
We
now.
didn't talk about this. Hole 10
Okay,
at my course
we need to talk
is
about hole 10.
maybe the most hated course in the state or hole in the state. Everybody I play with, or even mention, like I'm a member there, they're always like, oh, that fucking hole 10. Hole 10 is a par 4. It's about a 200-yard carry to the fairway over water and then just this like drop off with just a bunch of weeds and stuff. Like you're not finding the ball in there. So you carry it 200. If you carry it and land at 200, there's then a tree in your way on the approach, which is also over another trench. If you carry it 220 and stop at 220, you're great. You have a beautiful little, 150-yard shot right to the green. If you go 230, you're completely blocked out by another tree. So you have both a force carry to a very small landing area and then another force carry to the green. And so it just requires two pretty perfect shots just to make a par. So I rarely make a par. It's not my favorite hole.
No, that hole's dumb. Like I'm trying to think of the right wording without cussing too much. I played his member guest, so I got to play that hole what 4 times I guess that weekend, and I think I was in the woods 4 out of 4 times. I don't think I parred that hole the entire weekend. That was I don't even know if I bogeyed that hole that weekend. That was so bad.
Anytime I par it, I feel pretty good. I do actually. I took a whole lesson around this. Like I took a lesson from the assistant pro at my club. It's like, hey, I usually hit a draw. Uh, I need a shot for this hole because this hole requires like a 220-yard fade, and that's just not in my bag. And so we worked on it a bit. I worked on this like choke down kind of low cut shot that with the driver, but it feels very chippy kind of shot, and it rolls out to about 220. It's been way more consistent. If I don't close the face, like if I, open the face too much with the shot, it of course goes in that trench. But more often than not now, I'm actually hitting the landing zone pretty well. So it's really changed my whole scoring on that hole.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of the best things ever. That I've learned is like when when you struggle with something, just go to the people that do the training at your course and be like, "Hey, let's go out here and you show me how to play this hole and show me what I'm doing wrong." And it's been brilliant doing that stuff because I used to have a hole like that. It was just my nemesis at my course, and I was like, I just can't do it. So then I got the guy to come up there. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're." He's like, "Why are you doing what you're doing?" He's like, "Aim over here." I was like, "Oh okay, makes more sense." But yeah,
The biggest
that's
problem
a
with that, it's probably since that lesson. I used to only like exclusively hit draws, and since then, where he taught me how to hit a fade, for some reason I also accidentally hit fades all the time now. So I have a bit of a two-way miss with the driver now. So I don't know. Might have been worth it. Might not have been.
It's more money for me in the coming months. I love this. This is good news.
I'm getting better with the fade though. So yeah, I hit a I don't know 310-yard fade the other day. Usually the fade is like a 200-yard shot because it takes so much off.
Yeah, well, you know, I think the isn't it like Tiger? Isn't he the one that always hits fades? I know there's a couple pros that do that. They never hit draws at all unless it's like they really need to.
Most
I
of the
don't know.
pros now actually are pretty much always fades.
Hmm, interesting. Maybe
What's
they're onto
the
something.
There's that quote: "You can talk to a fade, but you can't talk to a draw."
I've never heard that. What
I
does that even
guess who
mean?
it was. I
Explain
don't even
it.
know. The idea is that like a fade only goes so bad, at least if you're a pro. But a
Oh yeah,
draw easily becomes a hook. So you once you start hooking it, you're kind of screwed.
true. Um, what's interesting too is because like I think it depends on the course you play a lot. Like mine draws really aren't in bad on pretty much any hole where fades can get you into more trouble. Um, but it's still not that bad for where I am. But yeah, I guess a hook is better. A hook is way more preferred than a slice at my course because it seems like
Actually,
every hole the
yeah, I
trouble
feel
is
like a
right.
hook's almost better anywhere, especially the trees, because hook starts out low and it hooks pretty quickly. So you're probably going to hit a tree and come back in the fairway, or at least not too bad. Whereas if you hit like a slice, you're high, you're up over the trees, you're far right somewhere. So good luck finding it.
True. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. We should test that. We need the stats guy on here and tell us if that's true or not. I'm curious now.
Maybe you should email him. Do we want to tell people about this big guest we have coming, or do we want to
Oh,
wait?
well, we can actually lead into that. So we talked about last week. We're going to do a competition where we see who can increase the swing speed the most over the winter. Um, I went. Ben had the thing called the stack system. I had a thing called speed sticks. So I emailed the stack system people, and I went ahead and bought me a system. So it should be arriving this week, and then we
Oh,
can.
you bought it? Did you do
I did.
the combo with the radar?
I did, and I did the tripod, so that way I can make Instagram reels from my videos or from my training sessions. So
Nice. It can
it's
be,
it's
was that in
it's all
slow
about the
mo? Oh no,
content.
it wasn't slow mo. Huh.
Well, it hooks to your phone, so you can slow mo it if you want. You can just do whatever you want.
No, it's a joke about how your swing's already slow mo.
Oh, that was mean. You're gonna be surprised when we. All right, so once I get it, we're gonna do we're gonna do our what do you call it? The test or the
The
baseline.
baseline. Yeah.
The baseline,
Yeah.
and I'm probably already faster than Ben. He just don't know it yet. So
If you are
it's gonna.
faster than me, I'm going to eat so much shit.
That would be hilarious. I don't think I am though. I have a very smooth 80-mile-an-hour swing, so we'll see. Um, but yeah. So anyway, I've got that arriving. We're gonna do our baseline. I'm hoping it comes this week, and then we can have it for the next show. But if not, we might be 2 weeks out on that. But I did email the creator of the stack system, and I said, just ask him if he wanted to come join us, tell us about it, let all the listeners hear about it. So if you want to increase your swing speed too, we'll have all the data and all the stuff basically behind the scenes, because I'd honestly never even heard of this till Ben brought it up. So now I'm very curious on how this works and all the stuff behind it.
I'm really hoping he can help me too, because I consistently, so like I did the stack session tonight before this, and I'm at one. It like estimates what your swing speed will be based on how fast you swing that. It's estimating my speed at a 103 miles per hour, which I can hit on the radar with a driver if I just don't have a ball and swing hard. At second I put down a ball, it drops to like mid 90s, and then it's very frustrating. And so hopefully he can fix me. I don't know.
So that just has me thinking, like, what is an average swing speed? Like an average male in their 40s, like what should that be? Like 90,
You
100?
probably have to like segment it too to like average male that's like a single digit handicap versus like, plays golf once a year. I don't know.
True. That's an interesting question, because even if you I don't know, because even if you play once a year, you might have a crazy fast swing, but you're just always in the woods or something. Or you might be like me and play old man golf, and you don't have very fast and just don't go very far. I don't know. I'm very curious now. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, we should look that up.
I'm gonna have to research that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess an average single digit handicap in their in their 40s is gonna be around 95.
I was thinking around 90.
Okay.
I feel like you outdrive most people we play with, right?
I don't know. All right, 90, 95. These are our estimations. I don't think so. Like, I mean, it depends. Like, I mean, if we're playing with somebody that has a fast swing and they hit a 40-yard slice, then yeah,
I guess that's true. Yeah,
them.
most people do hit a big slice, and so that probably takes a lot of distance off.
Yeah, like for me, if I hit a slice, it's going. I mean, I'll probably lose 30 yards with my driver.
Yeah, like Micah. We get on the radar when we went to the range the last time. He has like a really he just cruises at like 107, 108 miles per hour, which is infuriating, by the way. But on the course, I'm driving it past him probably 80% of the time, just because he's in the woods. So
yeah,
I mean, I know he's gonna listen.
I love it. We're gonna get Micah. We're gonna get Micah ready. We're gonna get him ready for the Masters again. He's gonna. We do need to. That's totally unrelated and probably should be brought up off the show, but we need to start planning a Masters trip, even if we don't go to the Masters.
We do, yeah. Maybe we just buy tickets. How much are they? They can't be that bad, right? $4 million a piece.
I would rather just play instead of go, but whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah, it has been really fun to do that April trip every year. The problem though is that week is the most expensive golfing week in the whole year, so you pay like double the green fees that week.
I mean, I would be willing to come to your home course and play 4 days during the Masters week. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Okay. I like it. We gotta get a good bet going though. So like, loser pays
Well,
green fees or something.
I like that. And I think we should play the same course every day for 4 days, just like the pros do. So that way we can just keep stroke play every day, and then we'll see who the grand champion is.
I would do like a cumulative 4-day tournament.
Hmm.
You gotta give me pops though.
Why? It's your home course. You don't give pops on home courses.
You have a lower score at my home course than I do, which is trash.
Well, I mean, I had a good day that day. That's with the 6 on 10.
Yeah. 10's good for me.
Yeah,
All
no, I
right,
think,
so
yeah, I like
we want to
this.
do this? Yeah, I think we do
I'm
this.
in. I'm in if you want to do it. We just gotta get 2 more.
Yeah, I know Daniel will definitely be in.
Yeah, and we'll get
Me.
Micah. And there we go. We got 4 of
Yeah.
us.
Boom, done.
Sweet. Perfect.
We
All
do need to
right.
figure out when our member guests are at each club too, though, so we can schedule around those.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I definitely want to do that because I love the member cast. I think that's probably one of the funnest weekends of the year. I've never won one or actually made it to the finals, but it's I have a lot of fun doing them.
And
And
also,
that's actually
Go
sorry.
ahead. I've done a bunch of tournaments this year too. Part of the goal of that was to not completely fall apart in member guest and tournaments like that. So the ones we played have been mostly Eric carrying the team. So hopefully this year the nerves won't get to me as much and I'll contribute more.
That'd be fun. I can't wait. We definitely gotta play more. All right. I think we've been going for a while. We should probably end
We
this
said we're going to keep
episode.
us to 30 minutes, and it's been
Yeah.
an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. This one's been kind of going on and on because we have so much to talk about. But
We got to save some.
all right.
We got to save it. For
Yeah,
next week.
we're gonna save stuff for next time. Go join the Hosel Rockets on Telegram if you have Telegram. If not, go join the newsletter because I've been putting out newsletters every time we publish a new episode with the links and everything like that. So just an easy way for everybody to keep up and all of the above.
And if you have questions for us, drop those in the Telegram. We'll throw at least 1 or 2 questions in each episode and answer them here. I think it'll be fun.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And you can even do, I think you can even do audio questions in Telegram and then we can like slice that in somehow.
You could be famous.
Yeah. You could be famous on the show. Oh, that would be great. But otherwise, I think that's it for this one. Anything else to add, Ben?
No, hit them well. You gonna play this weekend, I assume?
Yes, doing a 36-hole day Saturday. We're gonna do our own tournament at the club. Me and my buddies.
I like it.
They're still figuring out the format, but yeah, basically they text me and said, "Hey, let's do a 36-hole some sort of event, and it'll be about like 8 or 12 of us. So that should be fun."
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, I'll report back on the format and what they've decided and all that mess. So that'll be super fun.
Cool. Yeah, we're trying to figure out if we can schedule it. Me and Mike are thinking about a last minute trip down to Mobile to play. There's 2 RTJ sites, Robert Trent Jones golf trail sites down there that we haven't played yet. So maybe we do we're going to try to do like a Friday, Saturday thing where we play, 18 to 36 a day, try out both of those sites. I think there's 4 sites left on the trail that I haven't done yet. So knock out 2 more.
It's amazing. All right, we're gonna have to save that one too. I want a whole episode of you just telling us about the RTJ trail because, well, I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to get into it because I'll start and then it'll be like 4 hours of talking about 150 golf courses.
I'll have to tell you about Sandmageddon. There's one day that was just I hit every sand trap on this course. So we'll recap that in depth.
I love it. That sounds good. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we will be back next week.
There you go.